Not every teenager lives in a safe environment with a loving family and the determination to live their dreams or to even graduate high school. Coach Toro of James Monroe High School tells the story of one of his baseball players in dire need for help.
Boo Boo, whose real name is Cruz Resto, played 2 seasons for me, and then he failed off. He was academically ineligible his third year, mostly because of not showing up at school or not passing classes. If you don't pass, basically you don't play in my school. You have to learn how to be a student before you're an athlete. At the start of his senior year, he was out of school the first couple of days, and I called him up to see what was going on, and he said he had to come in and speak to me on Monday. And at that point, he basically told me that his home life was falling apart, and he wouldn't be able to do it anymore because he felt like he was becoming a real street person, and he was seeking help. And I saw in his eyes that he was reaching out to me. So I said, well, let me try to figure something out, and I get back to you. To speak with my family, and seeing it was okay, I try to bring Boo Boo into our home to live with us. I can't take every kid home and try to help them that way, but in different ways we try to help students out. It's just not like you're coaching baseball. You're really dealing with each individual's family and personal life also. You can't treat all the individuals the same. You have sets of rules, but very often rules have to change for certain kids for different reasons, and you really can't explain to the other ball players why. Boo Boo's family, he has his dad who's doing a life sentence in jail, who we really didn't know. He has his mom, who's basically a crackhead and an alcoholic, and then his brother, who's a few years older than him, is probably one of the biggest drug dealers in the South Bronx. When we sat down with his mom, and we had to get court papers signed and everything, just so he'd be able to stay with us, so there wouldn't be any problems. I think his mom was kind of happy in a way, because she'd have to feed another mouth, and she had more room for the brother who dealt drugs with his girlfriend, because they just freeloaded in the house and stayed there. When he was with us, I guess she felt he was safe with us. He lives in the bad part of the South Bronx, basically the Fort Apache area, where it's a lot of burnt down buildings. There's loads of shootings and gang violence, Bloods and Crips. It's a really bad area. But it was a funny thing about this whole story. My daughter was extremely afraid of him. He's an imposing figure. He's a big boy, very strong. He's known as a very tough kid in the neighborhood. Everyone fears him. He has his 2 big diamond earrings, and he looks like a real street kid. And she was deadly afraid of him. We had a guest room built in our house, and he had his own bed, his own closet, he had his own drawers. This was something that was also new to him, because he was always being thrown out of his own room at home by his drug-dealing brother. I can remember distinctly, after his first night staying over the house, he had a funny look on his face, and I said, what's wrong, Boo Boo? And he said, I've never heard anything like this in my life. He goes, it was dead silence. It was kind of scary in a way. He said, around where I live, all you hear is gunshots and ambulance and cop cars all night long. He goes, and this was dead silence. You kind of heard birds, and you heard natural things. There's no cars, no noise at all. And this was very, very strange to him. He was doing things for the first time. He'd have to come into the house and have dinner with our family and sit down at the table and, say grace with us, which he never in his life did. They never had a family dinner together. He had to do homework with my son and daughter. They had some chores around the house. And then they went down and they either watched TV and had family time together before they went to bed. He never had any kind of constructive life at all. Everything was out on the streets. He said he never did homework before, really. Whatever he didn't get done in school. He really never carried books home from school. So this was all new to him. I took my son and daughter and wife out for Italian ices one night, and we came into a pretty crowded parking lot. And instead of walking around the cars, he kind of butt slid across the hood of the car. And it was a brand new car, like he didn't even care. And I kind of jumped on him and said, Boo Boo, you can't do that around here. I said, these people spend a lot of money for their cars, and he gave me a look. And I tell him, you just can't do that. I said, because, people get offended, and it's not like you're in the South Bronx and people take that, think it's something completely different that nobody accepts. We had rules in our house, and one of the rules of him staying in our house was he could stay there as long as he did his part. In school, he had to pass his tests and go to every class. So as soon as he cuts a class, he was gone. And I guess he wanted baseball so badly, and he wanted to play his senior year, that he stuck to it. And I did check his homework at night. I did check every test he took. This is without teachers or anyone in my school knowing what was going on, because we kept that very quiet. We wouldn't let anyone know. In fact, I would drop him off every morning about 1.5 to 2 blocks away from the school. And then after practice or after school at night, he'd walk out with all the boys and walk around the block and just go off into a store on his own. And then I'd come around about 15, 20 minutes later, and I'd pick him up when everyone was gone. And we kept this really quiet. Teachers constantly were coming over to me, telling me how well he was doing in school, how he's on time for class, and how respectful he's become. They can't believe what's come over him, and they basically wanted to know what have I done to him, and I couldn't tell them that he was living with me. So I just said, well, we had a long talk, and we constantly talk in school, and it's changed his life dramatically. The only reason why a teacher ever came over to me is to tell me how bad he was, how he was cutting class, how he never did homework, how he was disruptive. So this basically was a real big change. Baseball was our only love. I mean, he would never come to school if it wasn't for baseball. Basically, if he stopped coming to school, he would have been back with his friends, all gangbangers, and they do bad things. There's always fights and drug dealing. So he would have been lost to the streets, and a lot of his friends are dead. And every day now I still hear about his friends on the street that are going to jail and who's getting beaten up. Or in fact, one day last week I just found out a boy was shot 5 times and he was one of his best friends. He survived, but Boo Boo might not have been as lucky. His outlook changed. He gives respect to other people, and I told him if you don't give respect to other people, you're never going to get respect. And I think his outlook now in life is that he does help other people. His warmer side, his inner side comes out now, where you never would see that before. He would never let his guard down. Before he came to my house, he was always the aggressive person, and he would come at you for any little thing. He saw there was a better side of life than just living in the South Bronx and hanging around, and he knew how important education was, and he worked real hard his senior year, and he took PM classes, he had night school, he made up all his work. He was just a few credits short of graduating in June. He ended up going on. I got him to a college out in western Oklahoma, so Boo Boo's doing real well now, and we're very proud of him. He wants to go back to the Dominican Republic and try out for professional teams, which was his real dream in life. I think the whole story about Boo Boo is that he's a much better person now. He's learned to give and get respect, and he's out there and he knows how to speak with people. His inner gentle side has come out. He's not a street rat or street bum anymore. He's a person, and he will be able to succeed in life. And I feel that we had a great influence on him, my family, myself, and the other people that dealt with the situation.